Jpopswizzlers, welcome back to another video. Hi if you're new, hi if you're not. You guys all have a safe spot on my channel. My name is Shakayla. Don't mind how rough I look. It's 6:44 in the morning and I'm about to head to work. But I wanted to talk about my new book I'm reading. This book is gonna be a really special one. And I'm really excited to be reading it. I started it last night, but I thought it would be fun to do a whole video on this because I'm going to feel a lot of emotions and hopefully take his lessons in. And this book is Rookie by Joshua Bassett. If you don't know, I love Joshua. He's my favorite singer of all time. I found him years ago, and I didn't really pay much attention to him all those years ago. I just found him through somebody who loved him and didn't understand the hate he was getting. And then I know for a fact that in 2023, when he went on tour, I really wanted to go, but I couldn't. So then in 2024, he went back on tour and I did go see him and the shift was crazy. Yeah, I was in a bad mental space and I was debating on if I should go or not. And I did, and it was the best time of my life. So you can watch a whole video and I kind of talk about my decision and how I felt after the concert. So I still have post-concert depression from that. So yeah, but I thought it would be fun to take you along while reading this book. I have started, I'm like maybe 13 pages in. I knew I was going to be annotating it, so I picked a marker and a pen, and then I'm like, I'm choosing gray because the book is black and white, and I don't have any like bookmarks that I really enjoy, so I'm like, what color is his favorite? And the internet says blue for calmness, so I'm like, that would be perfect actually. So I do want to find something that I highlighted, and it's, oh my god, where is it? The only guaranteed is that if you give up, your dreams will not come true. And then basically, like, you don't need to be qualified to go after your dreams. Like, do it unqualified. Grow as you go, like a bird falling from the nest to learn how to fly. So far, those have been my favorite little quotes. It's like, just because I'm not qualified to do my dreams, I can still chase after them. So yeah, I did cry a little bit while reading this, but anyways, I'll keep you updated. I do have to go now, but yeah, here we go, Joshua. Okay, don't mind how I look nor the AC, but it's 9:09 p.m. and I'm currently back reading The Rookie. And I came to a part in the book, and I'm gonna read you the quote because I relate to this a lot, and this is exactly how I felt when I actually was deciding on if I should go see him in concert almost 2 years ago. And it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I would have regretted it if I didn't go. And here we are, almost 2 years later, reading Rookie because of that moment. Like, anyways, so basically it's, the part is called Show Up. So he was talking about a person who, showed up instead of not showing up. So he goes, obviously you shouldn't obsess over missing opportunities left and right. However, if you have the option between showing up and skipping out, show up. And I just deeply feel that because that's who I want to be. I don't want to keep missing out on life just because I'm either scared or I don't have a way. Like, I feel like I don't have a way to get there, even though I do have the option to go out and do them by myself. And another quote I saw just on, I think it's actually a book. It's called Do It Solo or Don't Do It. Like, you miss out because you didn't do it solo. And it's okay to do it solo. So, I deeply feel this part of the book. And I'm gonna remember that. So thank you, Joshua. Now, why would this dude put Lifeline in his book? No, I know why. But it's like rude and evil, Joshua. That's not nice. You make people cry. Do you know that? Okay, so I'm on page 109, and I just got done reading The Balcony Story, which I actually watched his interview with this guy, and I think it's like figuring out how to be human, something like that. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know the guy's name either. But he actually talks about that story in the interview. Everything just lined up today with Joshua Bassett. Anyways, it makes me so sad to think about what he's been through and just his emotions throughout this book. Like, yeah, and then I got to thinking, like, how different everything would have been if not only did he decide to, trigger warning, jump off, or even if he passed before that moment when he only had 12 hours. And it's so sad. And I never watched High School Musical, the series, when it first came out. I only knew who Joshua was because I saw some of his, like, fans beforehand post things about him, like, but I never really dug in until 2022, 2023. I can't remember. So I just really want to know how, like, other people feel about this. Like, if they were fans of him when this all went down, and, like, because they didn't know about this, so I'm just wondering how they feel reading the book and finding out all of this information and how that makes them feel. You know what I mean? And it's just so crazy because, like, in a way, he's, like, not my lifeline, but, like, a person that did save me in a moment where I was going through a rough patch. And it's crazy if he, something did happen and I don't know where I would be, like, connection is so crazy to me, and just life is crazy. Like, we're all on different paths and somehow we connect sometimes, and it's crazy. And now we're on All in Due Time, the song, and can I just say that I've been thinking about getting All Due Time tattoo, probably when I quit my job. Well, I'm for sure when I quit my job, I'm gonna get Finally Free, because I want that song to be so true in my life. And, like, All in Due Time, I need those two tattoos. I'm gonna cry. I already have. The amount of times I've tried to film this one section of this video is insane. First, I just could not get my words right. Second, I did, but the clip was too long. Third, I was extremely dizzy out of nowhere. So that's fun. Anyways, I read to page 154 and I'm ending it there, but I wanted to go back to page 145 in this book, and it's called The Truth at All Cost, okay? So, it's talking about him being on psychedelics, okay? I don't know the word. It's right there in front of me, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to pronounce it. I am trying to in my head, and he's talked about this in 2 separate podcasts that I've listened to, okay? And in my head, when he says the word, it looks extremely different than how it looks on this paper. So I have zero idea how to pronounce this. But anyways, it's talking about his journey that he went on, and it talks about how he's seen the devil and how he screams out, and then how in the sky he sees Jesus in the sky with God behind him. And then he says, my dad was right. So anyways, where I'm going with this is, as I'm reading that chapter, I got goosebumps, okay? Not once, but twice. Reading that chapter, I'm like, oh, maybe I'm cold, and that's why. Because my fan's blowing on me, sometimes I get goosebumps because I'm cold. No, I fully believe it's because of the story he tells, and the reason why is because it takes me back to his concert when I felt this shift of energy. Like, it was crazy. I can still remember it. It gives me goosebumps sometimes when I think about it. Like, right now, I'm kind of getting goosebumps from just thinking about it. And then, if you've ever seen my Joshua Bassett video, I kind of talk about this. Like, you can see the difference between me before the concert and then after, talking about this crazy experience that I had at his concert, and you can just see the difference. And I think it's so, I don't know, I just feel like Jesus was in the room with us that night, to have that energy shift, and it's what I was looking for. I have what's the word, a strained relationship with Jesus, and believing he's actually there, because I feel like personally, and I felt like this back then in 2023, and I still feel this way, 2024, and I still feel this way. In 2024, I felt like I don't really have any signs that God is really there with me, and just things like that, because I don't have signs. Well, then I experienced this, at his concert, that energy shift. I could just feel something. It's crazy. And I'm like, oh, he's there. And then that helped for a little bit with my relationship. And then, I still struggle with it. It's just something I have always struggled with. I think it goes back to religious trauma as a child. I had severe anxiety as a child, and I still do. I'm just medicated now for it. And I just always had anxiety about going, and then they still pushed me to, even though I did not want to, and I think that just made me, more anxiety ridden. So then as fast forward to now, as I'm reading this book and he talks about this, and I'm getting goosebumps, and I think it's a sign, you know. And I don't know if that's crazy also. Me and Joshua both could be crazy little people, but whatever. So yeah, I don't know. That's just my thoughts for that little part. But yeah, I had more I wanted to say, but TMI, but I'm on my period, so I get dizzy and nauseous out of nowhere sometimes. That wave just hit me hard just a little bit ago, so now I'm like feeling unwell. So anyways, there's your little TMI moment, but sorry, I had more, but I just can't. Anyways, that's all. I feel, actually, you know what? I feel like Joshua in a way because, like I said, I brought up this podcast yesterday as I'm reading it, and the guy, he goes, you say, this is just something I noticed, you say sorry a lot for going on these long talking tangents, and I feel like that to my core, because as you'll see, I'm the same way, and that's why my videos are so long, because I rant, and this is almost 7 minutes of me ranting about this book. So there we go. Joshua and I are like this in our ways of talking. So there's that for us. Okay, I'm back because I have to bring this up. But okay, so if I'm reading a book in my bed at night, I don't have my phone near me when I sleep. It's on my desk. I feel like I can get up in the mornings, go turn off my alarm, gets my body moving, it wakes me up, so it stays over there at nighttime. So then I film on my laptop. Okay, obviously you can tell the quality is way different. So, and the reason why I do this is because I have thoughts in the moment, and if I don't say it right away, I will write them down, but then I will forget to look at it until forever and just kind of forget how I was feeling in that moment. So I want to record right away if I'm reading a book, or I don't know. So anyways, with that being said, hang on, let me move this notification. With that being said, you can see the wall in the background. Okay, and I want to apologize, kinda not, but anyways, on my wall, we have my little disco, music thing, okay, we have those discos, and then we have my music poster, okay, we have 5 Seconds of Summer, 5 Seconds of Summer, Luke Hemmings, 5 Seconds of Summer, okay, Benson Boone, and then Benson Boone here, but Benson Boone here is completely shirtless. So I want to say I formally apologize, kinda, for having Benson Boone shirtless in like all of my book videos, or part of my videos at least, because I feel like it might be a little awkward to be seeing that as I'm filming. Don't worry, it kind of makes me uncomfortable. Sometimes if like I take a picture and I send it to like my streaks on Snapchat, it kind of like jump scare, but yeah, so I formally apologize for that. I just had to bring it up. Hello guys, I'm back. It's been a while. I don't know when I started this video. I don't know if I started it in June or July. I'm not sure, but anyways, I, as of Monday night, finished Rookie by Joshua Bassett. Okay, so before we get into the pages I would like to talk about, I just wanted to put it out there that this book is for everybody. If you see it at a Barnes or any other bookstore and you want to pick it up and read it, it's for everybody. You'll find a connection somehow. You'll feel all the feelings that he will make you feel without knowing who he is. So I'm just putting that out there, that if you see it, pick it up. He says real raw things, and it's incredible to read his work, and it's surreal to read it. It took him 5 years. Also, I don't know if I've mentioned it, but I didn't know what to expect of the layout of this book. If it was going to be, for example, like, not this, but like these pages, how they're all multiple chapters, they're multiple pages long, you know what I mean? Or if it was gonna be like poem styles, they're like short little, poem style. So I didn't know the layout, but yeah. So when I saw Joshua almost 2 years ago, I was going through a really hard time in my life, about just who I wanted to be and what I should do with my life and so many more things. So after I saw him, during, I think it was towards the end of the concert, I felt a energy shift in me. It gives me goosebumps thinking back on it still, and just, I can feel it so clearly still. And it was like something clicked, and I don't think, if I didn't go, I don't think I would have had that moment. So I'm really happy I did, and I've said this multiple times too. So most of the pages I have marked that I would like to talk about kind of reflects on that. Obviously I annotated it more, but these are just the pages that I would like to talk about. So I probably will get a little emotional in this video, just because, I think I will. Joshua truly means the world to me. He's helped me, and so anyways, right off the bat, starting this book, it says, who would you be if you weren't afraid? And I think, I feel like I could be Barbie if I wasn't afraid. I could be so many things. Even now I want to be so many things, but I'm afraid to take a step in the direction to work towards what I want to be. But I feel like I could do whatever my mind wants to do if I wasn't so afraid. So that just got me really emotional, because I would do so many things if I could, if I wasn't afraid. Next is, I often ponder how different my life would be if I just weren't afraid, how much more I could accomplish, and what exactly am I afraid of anyway? And that's true. Genuinely, what am I afraid of? To be able to do what I want to do and be happy. I don't know, genuinely, I feel like what's blocking me, so I'm personally right now, I'm trying to figure out if I want to go, I don't know if that was my candle or what, but anyways, I'm trying to figure out if I should actually go to college or not, because I feel like the career I want to go in requires college, and I'm probably not going to be able to get the knowledge without going to college. I know some people probably could be fine without going to college and still somehow get into the career path that they want to go down, but for me, I feel like I need that college to do what I want. We're gonna take a step to pause because my OCD is kicking in and I just need to check what that noise was. I actually think it was one of my Post-it notes back there. I'm trying to clean my drawers, but anyways. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, like, why, like, what am I afraid of? Truly, like, maybe it's the money part of it, and like, because I want to move, I want to be able to move, I want to get out of my job. I want to get out of the job I've had for almost 5 years, okay? And I want to be able to move, but I want to go to college, but I don't have the money to do everything. Yeah. And I'm petrified of going in-person classes. And then I'm like, my age, like I'm 21. I turned 21 in March. And I'm like, but I'll be much older. Even though, like, a lot of people have to start over, or they want to start over, even older than I am. So, like, really, I don't need to be afraid. I just need to step forward and go. So, yes. Okay, then the next one is, how much of your life have you missed because you wouldn't withstand a little discomfort? Like I said previously, the whole college thing, that's discomforting to me. It's something I haven't experienced, and I think a lot of just, like, I want to quit my job so bad, okay? Sorry to anyone who's watching who knows me. They're for my job. Okay? It's something I'm very open with about how much I want to be out of there. I'm sorry, but that's just the way it is. And but I've known this job. This is my first job and my only job I've ever had. I don't have anything else. I don't have any other what is it called? I don't have any other skills for different jobs. I've only had this one job for almost 5 years of my life. So the thought of quitting, like, even though I want to so badly, but the thought of quitting and doing something else really scares me. And it's discomforting. But I've missed out on so much that I could be doing right now. So, okay. The next one is, what if you went for what you wanted because you fell headfirst in love with it? And let that love fuel your work, not obligation, but obsession. What if you weren't beyond what you ever thought was possible, with the simple realization that society's and your own limitations are an illusion? Tackle your passion head on, fall in love with it, and I promise you, you will learn much faster than you ever believed possible. Which I think is so true. Personally, I think, yes, I'm afraid to go to college because for me, it's self-doubt. And I was thinking about this earlier actually today about my reflection in dance. So I tried out for my dance team, I made it, and we were practicing, and the first ever thing we do in practice is practice for the football game, because you go out there and you dance. I think it's during halftime, I'm not entirely sure, but that's like the first dance you're gonna learn at my school. So I did it, and I was at practice, and I just kept thinking, like, what if I don't remember where I'm supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing? And then not only that, but then I started my job and I work with kids. So obviously I need to remember their names, sometimes their last names, everything like that. And my first day I come back home and I'm like, what if I can't remember their names? But I've now, like, I get a new kid and I can remember how to spell their first name, their last name. I can remember so many things, even though at first I thought, what if I can't do this? You know? But in reality, I can. And I think a lot of it is just self-doubt. Because if I push it away, I actually can do the things that I don't think I'll be able to do. So, I think if I went to college or tried to learn about the career I would like to go in, I think I can learn faster than what I think I can, you know? Okay, the next one is take the risk, embrace the terrifying idea, and see where it leads. So I think that's just a sign to jump and do the whole thing that is college. So, yeah. And then the next one is growth requires being stretched. Greatness demands being tested. Most people quit before their vision of 2 more weeks. Sometimes you gotta give yourself 2 more weeks, maybe even more. Most times, rock bottom becomes your foundation for greatness, and your success is just barely beyond it, which I think is so true. Yeah, like, for me, I don't think I've hit rock bottom. Like, sometimes I feel like I have and I haven't, and yeah, yeah. Okay, the next one is obviously you shouldn't obsess over missing opportunities left and right. However, if you have the option between showing up and skipping out, show up, which I think is so true. And I know I talked about this before for this video, because that just means everything to me, because I feel this very deeply. I feel like I miss out on a lot, and I just have to show up if it's gonna make me happy, because I know I will. And yeah, and I think this year I feel like I've done more to show up. I don't know though, because I haven't really had much opportunity to where I can have the option to show up or not. But yeah, I think it's just something I needed to hear. The next one is the heavy lifting isn't all on you, but the willingness to participate is. Show up, show up, show up. Your success is counting on it. And I think what I took from this is obviously like being able to show up for not only myself but for others, because that's gonna give me success, but also like on YouTube. My dream is to be like a YouTuber, and where I can just read my life away or have, you know, opportunities to go travel and stuff. But I've really sucked at showing up for this, and I just want to show up, and I need to. And that's the only way I'll get a success out of this, if I continue to show up. So, okay, so I feel like he said this at shows, and this really just took a lot of meaning to me when I heard him say this, but it says, 1, don't wait until your life's almost over to start living. 2, don't let anything put a wedge between you and those you love. And 3, don't be afraid to ask for help, which I just think, again, I needed to hear everything that he's written, because I feel like once my life is almost over, that's when I'll be like, yes, let's start living, let's do everything, when I don't have that much time. So, yeah. And then don't be afraid to ask for help. I am terrified to ask for help. So, Yippee! So I am the type to feel my emotions very deeply. I cry very easily. I've never been good at not crying over something, especially if it's affected me. So it goes, so cry over spilt milk if you need to. Cry over not having cried. Over the last 10 spilt milks. You feel how you feel. It's time to honor that. And I don't think you should hide your emotions at all. I think if it hurts you, then it hurts you. If it makes you feel some type of way, it makes you feel some type of way, and we shouldn't need to hide that. I think it's very beautiful to be able to feel our emotions, because so many people don't get to feel their emotions, and they have to hide them. They have to push them down. Like, especially, so many people have to hide who they are and how they feel. And I think it's beautiful that some people don't have to do that, and we should think that, because some people don't get to feel how they feel. And that's really sad. So, yeah. The next one is, the world is on fire and I'm just wasting my time. Which is so true, because if I'm not wasting my time, I could be doing so many other things that I want to do, and I'm just here wasting my time. So, yeah. Okay, I have two more that I would like to talk about. The next one is reclaiming our power. We choose where we placed our attention. We focus on the good, and suddenly we were good too. So, I read this Monday night as I was finishing up my book. Tuesday, I get a text from one of my families that I babysit for. I watch them at the daycare, and they go, hey, can you, last minute, but can you come watch the kids? And I love those kids, but like, sometimes I just dread needing to work after I just worked, especially because I'm being drained at this job. So then needing to go be with more children after, it takes a lot out of me. But Monday night, like I said, I read this page, and I was thinking about this page in particular, and it's called Perspective. And in this book, in particular moment, he wasn't having fun, he wasn't enjoying it, but then he saw other people who were enjoying it. He changed their perspective on this situation, and they were having a good time too after. And I thought about that, and I ended up having a really good time babysitting those kids. So I was really happy I had read that, because I probably would have said no and made up an excuse. But I said yes, and I'm really thankful I did, because, yeah. And then it says, 5 minutes of gratitude has more power than you realize to change your day and your entire life. And I think that's so true. I think I woke up Tuesday or Wednesday morning, and I was making my bed. First thing I normally do when I get up is I make my bed, and I was just thinking, yay, I have to go to work. But then I'm like, no, I'm grateful that I do have a job. I'm grateful that I woke up even though I was still tired and I probably didn't want to get up, but I did. And I'm grateful that God let me wake up again to enjoy my life and live the life that I have. And I'm grateful, and that just changed the day of how it went. So there we have it. Those are the pages I really wanted to talk about. There's probably plenty more that I could talk about, but yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry if what I was saying didn't really make sense. I'm not really good at, like, wording things. I can text, like, I can do a whole note about the way I feel because I have more time to think about it, but in this particular situation, I can't really do that fast. It's kind of like on the spot of, like, yes, it made me feel some type of way, but I don't know how to put everything into good words, you know what I mean? So I'm sorry. I hope what I said made sense. And yeah, because I'm sorry. So like I said, I definitely recommend The Rookie for anyone who may know Joshua or who doesn't know Joshua. I think this book is really good and it'll have meaning to you. You may not think so, but I promise you, you will find a meaning and maybe cry, maybe shed a tear or two. I know I did multiple times. So, Joshua, thank you for gifting us with this book. I can't imagine how hard it was to write this. Not only write that, but also go through what you were going through and then reliving the moments you went through to write this. I can't imagine that's easy at all. So, thank you. I'm very happy that I got to read his work. Not only do I get to listen to his music, but I get to read his book. So, anyways, that's all I have for this video. Yeah. Bye, guys.